And a good Monday, everybody. Hope you are safe. Hope you are trying to stay warm. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game, here with you. He is Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. And JoJo, we're surviving. That's what we're doing.
There we are. We are surviving. And once again, man, just seeing social media of neighbors helping neighbors and neighbors down the street helping neighbors in the other neighborhood. I mean, it's what we do best around here. So we got a long way to go, but I think we're through the worst of it now. I mean, there's a lot of us still don't have power. And then once that gets back up, we're going. But I've seen multiple NES crews around town just working their tails off. And so now we just have to practice patience to get it done. That's it.
Yep. Pack your patience.
Oh,
isn't that what they say?
Yeah. Shut up. Right? I mean, that's something else. So, yeah, we're all feeling this together.
But look, we all have to understand something. We're cold. We're frustrated. We're going stir crazy. But I think if you just come to the terms that Mike Vrabel's going to the Super Bowl and move on, you'll feel much better.
Not only that, but all you I hate 100-degree temperature. I wish it was 5 degrees outside. Where are you? Right? Where are you? Are you outside today? I want to see. I want to hear from you. Hey, I can't wait. I'm 5 degrees. Nah, I will tell you, I'll take 100 degrees every time over 5 degrees.
I know this. Physically, you are sitting there in the studio. Mentally, you're in Key West.
Oh, mentally, I've been in Key West probably the last 3 years, so that just helps out the fact. But no, it's what was frustrating. This sounds so terrible. Is that shuffling around yesterday, I saw very, very little of the Patriots game. I heard a little bit on the radio. I watched the YouTube clips, but there was never a doubt. Like, you just knew he was going to go to the Super Bowl. You just knew he was. You knew Mike Vrabel was going to go. And I said last night to you, this is going to be a very, very bad 2 weeks for the Tennessee Titans. It's already started last night. These next 2 weeks are going to, because now people are realizing he was a coach in Tennessee, right? Now it's like, oh, he coached the Titans. And now it's like, why did you let him go? What's going on here? It was a conversation last night with the national media. Next 2 weeks, get ready for it.
No, I know. So it's going to be Patriots Seahawks. I think it'll be a tremendous football game. The Seahawks and the Rams last night was awesome. Want to tell you a little bit of how this is going to work today. We're here to inform. We're here to entertain. So we're going to kind of leave it up to you guys. We want to hear from you. We want to know that you're okay. We want to know what it's like in your area. Obviously, we're going to talk some football. Robert Saleh is going to be introduced on Thursday as the new head coach of the Titans. But we get it. I mean, we're all kind of dealing with it. I'm at my girlfriend's house. We have half power. And if you're watching the stream, you can see I'm bundled up. The heat is not a part of that half power scenario.
Well, maybe, Chase, you should have paid your half of the electric bill. Right? Is that, Dr. Crane agrees, right?
Yeah, just like the phone bill.
That's right, just like the phone bill.
There it is. At Big Joe on the go.
Yes.
But my mom's on the west side. I know the west side was hit hard and doesn't have power. So look, we're all in this together. We want to hear what it's like. I know you said that in Dr. Crane, you guys made it to the studio.
Yes.
Our road is not very good at the current time. I've seen a few cars go down it, but it's a skating rink. But I know the back roads, that's kind of the story.
Well, the main roads in the interstate are fine. The back road leading to that main road, the ones I were on were okay. The back roads, I'll pass. You need to stay where you are.
That's what I'm on currently.
So you're good. Stay there.
I walked out there and about fell.
Oh, my God. If you would have fallen, we'd have heard it over here at the studio.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. And again, look, if you are in a good place and you're safe and you're with your family and you're not comfortable driving, then stay in. Like,
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I want to give a big shout out to our crew. David Janes has been the MVP. I don't know if we're going to get him an award or what we're going to do, but I mean, I think he's lived there for 3 days. So he has been fantastic. Dr. Crane, you got in there. I know Cruz Martin from our staff got in and was there most of the day yesterday. Connor and Christian camped out the first night. And I heard from Connor today that he wished he had stayed because now he's trapped at home with no power.
Oh man, Connor.
But yeah, so we got a full staff, and everybody that's Kim and Cliff that have been working social media, and Atticus with the music stations and stuff. So we've just been trying to keep you all informed and entertained, and we want to thank Channel 4 for letting us simulcast yesterday. We also talked to the mayor because that's the kind of pull Chase and Big Joe have.
That's right.
So.
We'll play around. By the way, with thank David James, you can tell he's been here. For example, it's like if you ever let a bear into your house and you're gone for 3 days, that's the great David James, man. It's awesome. He can house sit for me anytime.
Does it smell?
No. Okay, actually, it doesn't. It's okay. There's like a big old bear's coming in your house, man. It's rummaging everywhere. It'd be the same if I was here. If I was here for 3 days.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, I would be clawing at people walking in the door.
Like,
not be able to talk to anybody.
Did you bring a pizza?
Something, right? I'd have broken the vending machine down. I would have eaten everything in there. Hell, I ate half my winter snacks on Friday before the storm hit on Saturday. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what our thing was. Let us know how you're doing all around Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Please call us and let us know how you were doing. How are the roads? We're all in this together. I mean, it's a thing that we're radio completely kicks ass. We're here. We're live. We want to hear from you. 615-737-1025 and how you're doing.
Yes. And that is our question of the day. Which is presented by Aries Tactical, as always, and we appreciate them. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooters, you shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, sent you. Check them out at ariestactical.com.
Yeah, there were some things like some neighbors on one side of the neighborhood had power, the other didn't. So
yeah,
let us know if you got power, if it's back on. Just, again, this show's mainly today is about getting you guys your sanity back a little bit and letting you know that people are thinking about you and caring about you, that we want to know how you're doing out there in the midst of all this. I'll see tomorrow, though. It's going to be 36 degrees maybe and sunny. That'll help out.
That will certainly help. And the sun being out today, if you're watching on the stream, I kind of got the sun behind me. This is really the best that I can do because this is giving me light and a little warmth with the sun coming through. But the sun being out, I mean, even if it is, what are we up to right now? 15?
It's 16 on the TV screen. 173,000 without power in Tennessee. This is the graphic that I'm seeing on Channel 4 right now in Tennessee. But it's from the National Electric Service. They're just in Davidson County, right? They're not outside.
Yeah. Well, I saw that like 20% of the power that was out in the United States was Nashville.
We are the it city.
Well, we're it right now. That
right.
is for sure. That is definitely for sure. But so we're hanging out today. We want to hear from you. 615-737-1025. You can call or text. That's our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. We'll obviously talk some sports as well, but just kind of want to know how everybody's doing. John McClain scheduled to join us at 2:00 on the show as well.
Yeah, so we're open to anything today.
Yeah,
so
we're just here, man. We're kind of with. That's the thing. We're with everybody. Like we're all going through this stuff. And,
there's no way I could just sit around and not do anything today. So,
Dr. Crane, how is it at your house?
Oh, it's I would say bad for the most part. We have 9 uprooted trees, 2 in my grandmother's front yard, 2 in my backyard, and then a bunch down the main neighborhood street. Everybody in my neighborhood's without power. So last night I kind of made my own homemade antenna and hooked it up to the television and used a 100-foot generator cord. And so, yeah, got to charge up my phone and watch a little TV, but that was about it.
Have you made pizzas yet?
No, I didn't make pizzas, but definitely made some skillet breakfast. Let's put it that way.
Oh, skillet coming in handy.
Yeah.
This is the type of day you need them for.
For those who remember, Nick bought a hog, right?
Asian red waller, yes.
Okay, not a pig.
Hog.
And you said goodbye to hog last summer.
That's correct. Yep,
mean,
about
that's
6
right.
months ago. Yeah,
So the hog is now in your freezer.
correct.
Okay.
That is not thawing, by the way. Ended up plugging that into the generator. So we hold that in for about an hour, unplug it, keep the doors wide open. A lot of the stuff we couldn't put in the fridge ended up putting in the yard just because we knew it'd stay cold.
Right. Or in your belly.
That too.
Either one works.
But yes, Chase, everything is okay for the most part. Still without power. Probably going to be without power for the next week just because both the transformers are in my backyard and the magnolia trees just took them down.
I'm shocked you don't get up and try to fix it yourself.
I was literally just about to say that.
Right?
I could see him with like a hammer in his mouth, climbing up, like, all right, let's see here.
Well, with the way the electric company is in my neighborhood, I might attempt at it. I'm not shocked at all to try it. So.
With a cutoff T-shirt too.
You might be shocked if you try it.
Hey, it might give me a little extra boost of energy.
I could see it now, man. Swinging from tree to tree with a rope.
Does somebody smell hot salami? No, that's just Nick over there.
Getting it done, man.
Shirtless, 20-degree weather.
Our man Mike in Lebanon says, we got power at Tucker's Crossroads in Lebanon. Heck yeah, buddy. He says, our grandson is at Belmont. They lost power yesterday, and they get it back until this morning. So good. Glad power's back over at Belmont.
3337 says, I work for a city trying to clean the streets. If you were trying to go to the bleeping dollar store, I don't know what you can't live without, but you are making it worse. Stay home until we get the streets clean.
Hey, he knows.
Hey, that's really good. Yeah.
That's the way to do that, right? I mean, again, I eat through everything on Fridays, so I'm pretty much out with food. So I have to run to the store and do something. But for most people, yeah.
615-737-1025. We are here for you. We're going to have some fun today. We'll talk some football. But if you just want to vent, want to let us know how things are, you can call or text us at 615-737-1025. Is Chasing Big Joe on this Monday, 1025 The Game.
Go.
first and goal. Perry. That one registered 3.8. Another Super Bowl record, the first refrigerator to score. And the largest running back ever to score a touchdown. And Walter Payton, I guess they figure they got a whole quarter to go.
No trouble. They're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle. I'm going to assume, JoJo, that was 40 years ago today.
Yeah, 40 years ago today, and a moment that still, if you are a Chicago Bear football fan, you love it and you hate it because, as you heard Dick Enberg say, there's a whole other quarter for Walter Payton to get in the end zone. Walter Payton, in fact, did not score. Mike Ditka calls it the worst moment, coaching moment of his entire career. We should go back and do it differently. But regardless, the Bears won a Super Bowl, and 40 years ago today, down in the Superdome with Refrigerator Perry doing that. Richard Dent, TSU Hall of Famer, was the Super Bowl MVP that day because Steve Grogan, the Patriots quarterback, had nowhere to go. And, Jeff Fisher's told us a story about the talk Buddy Ryan gave him the night before, and he's like, there was no way we were going to lose that game. And they did not. They beat the snot out of the Patriots that game.
You know what's ironic? Now, follow me on this because I think we both know that the current Titans roster is nothing compared to that 85 Bears roster, and they don't have a player anywhere in the same hemisphere as that of Walter Payton. I certainly understand that. But just asking it this way of if the Titans were in the Super Bowl, wouldn't the player you'd want to score the touchdown be Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle?
Yes, but that was a whole different world at that moment.
Sure. Because it was new to take the defensive guy and put him in at fullback, and and they did it a couple times, but that was kind of revolutionary to have the fridge, play a role like that.
Well, San Francisco, as Jeff Fisher told us the year before, used Guy McIntyre. The 49ers did that to rub in the Bears' face, and it just infuriated Ditka to no end. Then they draft the fridge out of Clemson, who's 6 foot 300 and literally a refrigerator, basically. And not literally, but you know what I mean. And then so to do that, and they just couldn't stop him. And it became, I'm telling you, man, we all became enamored with this football team and this player. I mean, because we had never seen it to this level in the media hysteria around Refrigerator Perry. And it was fun. I mean, just everything. But that team, man, was something special. I'm not sure we'll ever see a team like that ever again. And it was a moment, and they beat the Patriots, and they won the Super Bowl.
615-737-1025. I did see this on X that I think it's been making the rounds to the point of people asking if it was real. Apparently it is real. Did you see the truck on 65 that took out the sign that right there at 440 that tells you to go 440 one way and 65 the other?
Yeah, it's right there. I got a picture. Somebody sent me a picture. They're stuck in traffic. It's the sign at Armory Drive. So it's the road over Armory Drive. So that sign before you hit 100 Oaks Mall. And I mean, how do you hit that? I just don't understand.
Well, here's the crazy part. This is what I was going to bring up. It's been about a year ago. I was coming back at night, that same spot, and there was no winter weather, but there was a wreck that took the sign out. So it's like the second time in a year that sign's been taken out.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah. I just don't know how that happens. I mean, why did it not take out the sign down the road before if it's too large?
No, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the truck hit ice, jackknifed, and just slid into it.
Did it hit the pole? Is that what it did?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it hit
okay.
The pole. And pulled it down over the interstate.
Okay. Some had said that it hit the sign. I'm like, it hit the sign. How could it hit the sign?
It hit the pole that pulled the sign down.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
But I hope everybody is okay.
Yes. But it's just backed up. If you're stuck on the interstate right there, do not. It's 65 north coming up from Brentwood. So just avoid that whole area and find a different route to get in because you'd be I'm assuming it was just backed. I was watching TV. It was still backed up just 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. 615-737-1025. But it is it is interesting to bring up the fridge and that happening 40 years ago. So your favorite football team won the Super Bowl 40 years ago.
Well, it wasn't my favorite football team. It's just the fact that they were so devastatingly good. I know that's an oxymoron, but I mean, they beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game. They steamrolled through the season. They lost one game at the Orange Bowl versus Marino on Monday Night Football, and we've talked to McLean about that and Jeff Fisher about that, just how chaotic it was. But what's funny, when we talked to Jeff Fisher, he said, "Look, the defenses I had in Philadelphia were better than that defense."
Yeah,
and I'll default to him
that.
because he was the coordinator and the coach, and I get all that. But I'm telling you, man, Otis Wilson and those guys and McMichael and Dent and Dan Hampton and Gary Fensick, and I'm leaving a bunch of guys off.
You said McMichael?
Steve McMichael, yeah. So Mike Singletary, I mean, they were just insanely good. And I'm telling you, they rode that defense. And McMahon was a decent quarterback. He had Willie Gault from Tennessee, who was always open down the field. Emory Moorhead, the big tight end, was there. But it all revolved around Walter Payton, who is still, and I think, the greatest running back of all time. Those Bears teams in the late 70s were awful. Were absolutely awful. He was still running for more than 1,000 yards, and they knew he was going to get the ball. He was just the guy that made everything go. So he did get a Super Bowl. I know we want to get a touchdown, but how many guys don't get a Super Bowl ring? How many guys don't get to a Super Bowl? That was their one and only appearance, and then they won the Super Bowl in '85. Just a devastating defense that was so fun to watch.
He's the punky QB known as McMahon.
Yeah, that's something crazy, man, to make that video mid-season about going to win the Super Bowl. You imagine that now? Good Lord. I mean, we crucified, was it the Giants that went to Miami Beach during the playoff break on the boat, and they all celebrated, and they got beat the next week in the first round? And didn't Romo go to Cabo during a break?
An off week?
Yeah.
I think he went with Witten.
He did. And then everybody –
wasn't that Carrie Underwood when he was dating Carrie Underwood?
It was not Carrie Underwood.
Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson.
That's good. You just caused a fight in Franklin. Good job.
Sorry.
So, we would just rip them apart. But back then, it was like, oh, yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to go all the way and get it done, and they did. So we'll never see anything like – we might see something similar, but we'll never see the hysteria around them, and certainly we'll never see a video being made.
No, we will not, indeed. So what's your early read on the Super Bowl matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots?
I think Seahawks win by 3 touchdowns.
I'm kind of with you.
Have you noticed
I think that team is too complete?
Have you noticed that during this run, the Patriots scoring total has gotten less and less and less and less. So I think the over-under is 46. The Seahawks are getting 4. I just don't think the Patriots can score at that clip that the Seahawks do. That Seattle team, we saw they came here and they beat the Titans 27-20 or something. Like they're playing that day, like with their food, like we're going to win this and get out of town. But man, watching them the last 2 weeks to just dismantle the Niners, and that game last night was excellent over the Rams. Counter punch, counter punch, and then the Seattle was left standing. I just think they're a far better team than the Patriots.
I would agree with you. And I mean, outside of the defensive player last night, which I would have kicked him off the team right there for that taunting penalty. Outside of that, they're pretty complete, and they're, right there together. And, kudos to Mike McDonald. I think he's done a tremendous job with that group, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I think that's look, Patriots might hang around a quarter and a half or so, but I think that Seattle team, that defense is really, really, really good. And I think that's the kind of the difference in the game that happens. But, who knows? I know Miss Amy was probably thinking, hey, let's go Seattle all the way. That'd be another just if he wins the Super Bowl with the Patriots, man. It was just something else. Crazy.
615-737-1025. We'll continue to talk about championship weekend, and also we want to hear how you're doing, where you are, what your neighborhood is like. We want to hear from you. 615-737-1025. It is Chase and Big Joe presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on this Monday on 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Little Dukes of Hazzard bringing us back. Waylon Jennings, the late great.
Well, 1979, the Dukes of Hazzard premiered on this day, man.
January 26, 1979.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy. Well, good job, Dr. Green.
Great
Playing
job,
that,
pal.
bringing it back. 615-737-1025. Kevin in Florida, who is a loyal listener to the show, says it's 63 degrees and sunny where he's at. So thank you for rubbing that in, Kevin. We appreciate it.
That's all right, Kevin. That's all right. Hey, be happy and joyous where you are in your little world down there. That's fine. We'll be back up. No rush. No worry.
Yeah,
we'll be fine.
We'll be good.
As I tell people, man, embrace the changes of the seasons. Embrace it. Nothing to do about it. Snow, then it'll be spring will be here, be beautiful, and just enjoy God's blessing of the turning of the seasons.
What I want to know is people that are listening, you know, I know several people are starting to get power back. Would love to know those areas. Chris Atticus, who's our program director for 102.9 The Buzz and our music stations here at Cromwell, his just came back and he's like the Hermitage area. So I just be curious on who all's getting power back today. I know NES brought in they brought in regional help and have doubled the size of crews, you know, but again, they're having to get through trees and then get through the power lines. So they have to chop up the trees and get it where they can get to the power lines and then fix the transformers and the poles and all that stuff. So,
well, I read something last night where they got area restored and then a huge branch fell and hit what they just said. So you can't, I mean, you can't wait for these things to fall. Get power back on, it falls, and you just go back and fix it again. It's just the process of getting things done over the next few days or not. But
but I do want to say, you know, thank you to NES and Middle Tennessee Power, Dixon Power, all the power companies in our listening area. I mean, this is what we don't think about, but these are the men and women that now this is their time. This is hero time for them, and they've been working around the clock. And you know, just be patient. I mean, it's not their fault. Like, you know, and everybody that's calling, like, hey, do you have a timetable of when you're going to have this fixed? No, they don't.
Right. Yeah. Just go get it done.
Kind of when they get it done. You know, I know we would all love to know that of like, hey, can we go back to normal? But we got to be patient. But, you know, and then the men and women of law enforcement and first responders and everybody that's just been working overtime over the last few days. We certainly appreciate it.
Amen.
And,
let me ask you, here's the tweet that's going around the national media about the Titans and Vrabel. Tell me if you agree with this, Chase. This guy, it's somebody, national writer wrote this, and now everybody, it's been retweeted a billion times. At one point, the Titans had Vrabel, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and a very solid offensive and defensive line. Just goes to show you what a crappy GM can do to ruin your franchise. I say that is completely false.
I agree.
At one point, the Titans had Vrabel, Henry, Brown, Julio Jones, and a solid O and D line. Just goes to show you Matt Finks, but it's been retweeted a couple thousand times by everybody. Just to show you what a crappy GM can do to ruin your franchise. That is so false.
Yeah, that you haven't watched the Titans.
Right. Who got Henry and Brown and Jones and built that line? The GM did, right? John Robinson built that, regardless of how bad we know the draft was bad in 20 and 20. We get that. But you cannot blame any of this on John Robinson.
No, you cannot. And Julio Jones, you're really going to put Julio Jones in that?
Right.
He had one touchdown.
One touchdown.
And look, you can put that on John's ledger of things that didn't work, but do you really blame him for trying?
No, but the overall of the tweet is just so false.
He hired Vrabel. He didn't fire Vrabel. He drafted Henry. He was already gone when Henry left. He drafted AJ, and yes, he traded AJ, and he has talked about that.
Yes.
And said he'd like to have that one back. But, you know, we're not exonerating John Robinson by any means because there was some bad drafting there the last couple of years, and that ultimately cost him his job. But I think you got to look at the whole picture. That's why I do defend him, because I think when people want to blame everything on him, they're not looking at the complete picture. Mike Vrabel sitting in the I saw another tweet last night where somebody was like, how do the Titans feel watching Mike Vrabel go to the Super Bowl, a year and a half, 2 years after firing him? I think it's great that they hired Robert Saleh. I hope he has a ton of success, but it's unfortunate because now that's going to be overshadowed because people are going like, man, the guy we had. But then you have people that are arguing, well, even if Vrabel was still here with the roster he had, this team wouldn't be going to the Super Bowl either.
That's right. So when she fired Robinson, they were 7-4, right? And it shook up the locker room. To those who say it didn't, from all accounts, people we talked to, they were like, what the hell? They lost to the Jags the next week. They lost to the Chargers by a field goal, Texans by a touchdown, and Jacksonville by a touchdown. So they lost 3 one-score games down the stretch. Remember, they were 7-4 and in first place. She fires Robinson. It upset everything, and they collapsed. I mean, locker guys talked about that. It's like, what the hell is going on? So even in 22, you were 7-4. After you lost Philadelphia, made you 7-5. You were still in first place in the AFC South and very competitive because down the stretch, it shows how well you did down the stretch. Now, you lost to the Cowboys with Josh Dobbs at quarterback, which is a terrible performance and game and all that. And then you lose to the Texans a week earlier by a touchdown. I mean, these are games you probably could have won had she not upset everybody around. So that tweet should be take John Robinson out and put Amy Adams Strunk in that.
Agreed. I totally agree with you. I mean, look, and, I want to give her the benefit now that maybe she's not the benefit, but maybe somebody's gotten to her or she's realized like, okay, I've caused more harm than good. I'm going to back off and I'm just going to, let the football people do what they need to do. And, now it's got to work. I mean, I think Borgonzi's first draft was good. Worried about the second round pick. That's going to be a strike, I think, but it's good, not great. What does the second year look like? What does this free agency class look like with $100 million in cap space? And then what does Robert Saleh and his coaching staff look like? That's going to be the big question.
Absolutely it is. And look, I think now with Saleh, I give me Ruben Bain, get that number 4 pick in there, the Ruben Bain, and go for it and let him do what he needs to do. And Amy, you just stay out of the way. Thank you for everything you've done. You stay out of the way. Now, should she be informed of everything? Absolutely. It's her football team. Absolutely be informed of everything. But I just stay out of the way. You have shown that you are your father's daughter. You don't know what you're doing. Stay out of it and let a football person do this. Let Borgonzi do this and go forward.
615-737-1025.
And real quick, I brought that up because it was like, what are you people in Nashville? Are y'all stupid? And I'm like, it ain't us. We didn't do this. We didn't want to fire John Robinson. Most of us did. Yeah. Vrabel was like, this guy's an ass. But I don't remember anybody like, he's got to get out of here. There were a few, right? I don't remember an overwhelming majority of telling people Vrabel's got to beat it out of town.
Right. Yeah. A couple of texts that I want to he's 7410. Aren't they referring to Carthon as an awful GM? And yes, he was awful. And they might be, but I think it was more directed at Robinson. Mike and Lebanon, J-Rob set this team back years and Rand didn't help. Stop the revisionist history. J-Rob seriously hurt the depth of the roster.
But you were 7-5 in first place. You weren't 0-12. You were 7-5. And yeah, look, he admits he had some really bad.
He's had his mea culpa.
He did.
But here's the other thing that people forget about. And I'm going to say this for him because I know he's not going to say it. Yes, it's on him. He's the general manager. He's the one that made the picks. There's influence that comes from other places, a.k.a. the head coach. I think Vrabel had some say on some things and pushed for certain people that he wanted, and therefore John did it. And he should have. I mean, you listen to your coach. I mean, it goes back to the old Bill Parcells. They want me to cook the dinner, but they won't let me buy the groceries. And I think the coach should have say in what the roster looks like. Maybe not final say, but should be in the room, should be a part of the conversation. And, ultimately it does go back to John. If he gave into that and didn't go with his gut, I can remember Floyd telling stories on the air about that some of his biggest regrets is when he listened to other people and didn't go with his gut and it didn't work. And I think John had to learn that the hard way. So again, not letting John off the hook, but I also think, Mike, you want to say revisionist history. I think you have to look at the full story, and that's why we are in the spot that we're currently talking about today. Now, can this new regime turn it around? That's the big question. And I want to say yes, that they can, based on the small sample size that we have seen. But they don't have an offensive coordinator yet. I think it's going to be Brian Daboll if he doesn't get the Bills job. I think that's who they want, and I think that would be a very, very good hire for the development of Cam Ward and the rest of this offense. And then can Robert Saleh's defense work here? I mean, we just saw Denard Wilson. He's off to New York with John Harbaugh. He's going to be the DC there, so he's gone. So can the Saleh defense work with the pieces that are already in place and also the pieces that they're going to add? That's what we're going to have to see.
That's it. And I think it starts number 4. Don't be cute. Don't be fancy. And Robert Saleh knows. All right, I'm going to get a guy in here, rush to the passer. Boom. There we go. You can work with Simmons and Sweat. Got that done. Then we'll figure other things out. Don't overspend on free agents. Don't get a Calvin Ridley in here. They traded for L'Jarius Sneed, but Awuzie from Cincinnati. I mean, don't get these high-priced guys who get that contract. And now it's like, did they earn the contract? Yeah. Now, can you live up to the contract? Who knows? And so just don't do that. I think you have a whole new approach to this. But again, you can't look, Robinson told us when he drafted Isaiah Wilson on tape was pretty good, right? He had all the measurables. He SEC tough and all that. And Robinson told us, sometimes he's like, what is it? The Tinder, if you're on Tinder or whatever, Bumble, the picture doesn't match the description. And he goes, I was like, God, that's a perfect way to put that. So I don't fault him for that.
I think anyone that took Isaiah Wilson would have gotten burned.
Anybody, right. Now,
he didn't love football.
Right. Now, Farley, yes. And he knows it. Hurt back, he knows all that. But at the same time, this team was very competitive. They were 7 and they lost Philadelphia. They weren't going to win that game anyway. And 7-5 is not setting the world on fire, but you had very winnable games down the stretch you could have gotten to the playoffs. She decided to fire a general manager in the middle of the season because she had hurt feelings because that guy torched her. All right. You had to go fire. I mean, that was a knee-jerk reaction. That stuff her dad did. And then she did that as well. And look what it did. It demoralized the team at 23. And now you see what happened after that one decision that went on. I firmly blame her for the bad state of situation that the Tennessee Titans are in right now.
I agree. I got to respond to Mike real quick. He said, I wish Amy had not fired J-Rob because then J-Rob would have gotten the blame because the team wasn't going anywhere at the time. Also, Amy is not a Tennessee person. She's from Houston, so that's our defense against the media acting like we were crazy to fire Vrabel. Mike, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. You're leading the division with a winning record, and I think people also want to forget Tannehill got hurt. Tannehill got hurt during that stretch. You went through like 3 or 4 quarterbacks, including Josh Dobbs, and you still almost made the playoffs. It came down to one game. So, yes, there were missteps, and J-Rob deserves some blame for that. But I cannot agree that it was all 100% on him that season because if Tannehill doesn't get hurt, who knows what it looks like.
No, you're right. You mean to tell me, and real quick, they had the Green Bay win. That was on that Sunday night game, right? Was it Sunday night? Yeah. No, Thursday night game. They won that Green Bay.
Yep.
They looked great. You mean to tell, and then they lost to Cincinnati with Burrow the following week. I get that, and the Eagles lost. But the team that took the field against the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Texans, the Cowboys, and the Jags down the stretch was not the same team mentally and emotionally that it was that beat the Packers in Lambeau. It just wasn't. And we saw I'm looking at the schedule now. We see how it turned out because you fired a GM and you got your team going, what the hell is going to happen next? Instead of like, who do we play next? And that was a problem. That is all her fault. So these next 2 weeks are going to be very, very bad for the Tennessee Titans because she did all of this. All this should fall at her doorstep because she fired John Robinson. You're still paying the repercussions for all that are going on right now, or feeling the repercussion for that because she fired him, right? And that's what we're happening now. So blame her, not the good people of Nashville, Tennessee, who had nothing to do with this.
615-737-1025. We'll keep it going. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 1025, The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, The Game, here on this Monday. Trying to stay warm here in a icy, snowy Nashville, but glad that you were with us. Joe, so how's the parking lot that there at the station? Are you guys having a hockey game later?
Not bad. Cleared off.
Okay, good.
Looks good. The sun's out. I know it's like 20 degrees, but the sun is out, and so that kind of gives you a little hope of things to come. It's still cold, but the sun's out, and I'll take that right now.
Yes, I agree with you on that. 615-737-1025, the Super Bowl matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Now we got a 2-week break before all of that happens. Which is, I mean, I'm gonna miss football, especially this last month and a half with college and the NFL. We've just had some tremendous games.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like the Super Bowl is going to be kind of a letdown. I think Seattle
Yeah.
is just going to run over them, and and I know much has been made about New England's schedule. It's the weakest schedule since 2007 or something like that. But look, we've said this a million times. Another sports cliche: you can only play the teams on your schedule, right? That's all you can do. And so they did that. But also, I think they're the first team to go 9-0 on the road. I read this correct.
Oh, wow.
They're the first NFL team ever to go 9-0 on the road. So, look, you got to give it to Vrabel. I mean, they got those guys believing up there. All the interviews with the players, like from day one when he walked in here, we knew he was one of us, right? We knew that he cared about this. That's just the kind of thing that he had. Same thing he had here with the guys. And so able to put that together. And that's why people are like, he would have never made the Super Bowl here. Well, he made it up there in 1 year with a pretty bad team from last year. A really bad last 2 years. They were 4-13 and 23, 4-13 and 24, and he got them there this year. So don't default and say it because I just said it because of the schedule, but still, they got there. They're in the Super Bowl. That's all you can say about it.
Can I want to ask you this? The Pro Bowl is a joke now, right?
My joke for that is I see better effort at Kroger on Senior Day than I do at the Pro Bowl.
Well, here's why I say that. Yahoo Sports has put out there, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been added to the Pro Bowl roster as a replacement.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Oh, that's great, man. It's like when Vince Young made it in 2006. Like, what? Whatever, man.
I just don't
care. There are reports now. Somebody had said the reason these coaches are declining interviews with the Browns, nobody wants to work with him. Now, is it him or with Haslam? Well, I don't know which one. Is it the ownership or is it the quarterback or is it both? I don't know.
Both. I don't know. I have no idea.
But I some of it could be this is a situation because what Deshaun Watson says he's going to go back and play next year. Gabriel says, I'm going to be the starter. Shedeur's like, hey, what about me? So you're walking into another chaotic situation that probably not going to be resolved for a while.
No, yeah. I would agree with that.
Let me ask you this question for
yes, sir.
What fan base is the most suffering? Is it the Browns?
And just in the NFL?
Any sport. Any of the four major sports.
I mean, I think it depends on how you look at it. Bills fans will probably tell you them.
Okay.
Because they get so close yet don't get there. The Browns don't know any better because they've just been crap forever, basically. I don't think we have a big enough fan base here to care.
Right. I'm with you.
Being honest.
But I think that's the frustrated, but this goes back a long time. So you could say the Vikings. Vikings made it to 4 Super Bowls. Right. And they didn't win any. I understand that, but I get it. But Browns fans have never even tasted the Super Bowl at all. 60 years have never tasted the Super Bowl. And yet they still show up and they love the football. Now, theirs and the Cardinals, they have zero fan base, so they're not even worth talking about. But the Browns and the Bills are the ones and I just think because the Browns have never got to taste anything of Super Bowl week. The Lions, are the Lions up there too as well?
Yeah, I would say the Lions are. I'm sorry, I just I just saw something funny on Twitter. I have to admit, it's been pretty good the last couple of days. Somebody tweeted yesterday, "It's so cold, even the target ball is inside." They had rolled the ball inside.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But real quick, let's go to Russ. He wants to talk about J-Rob. Russ, what's up?
Hey, I'm probably going to start crying because I get emotional with you guys. I think the biggest problem is with the GM is J-Rob had an idea of going in a certain direction, maybe the West Coast, okay, where he came in. Instead of going to the West Coast, he wanted to do the East Coast. And so now everybody that J-Rob got, he doesn't like, so he wants to get all these new guys in. And it's not only going to shoot your payroll way out of sort, now you're going to have to take 8 years to rebuild what you got when you should be building for the future right now.
Yeah, Russ, you're right, man. And that's the problem is that you see these other teams that can turn it around quickly, but for some reason this team just cannot do that. So who knows? Now we got a little hope. You got a good head coach, I think. You got a GM who knows what he's doing. You just need her to stay far away. Stay in Houston and don't come back.
Why don't we give her a ticket to go visit the CEO of the Seahawks and let them two talk it over? Because she's a woman.
Maybe so.
That could be interesting. Thanks for the call, Russ.
Thank you, Russ.
I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I've seen there's some men. We were just talking about one in Cleveland that are male owners, and they're not doing much better. So I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Right?
But, no. I just think it's meddling. My thing is, like, if I had billions and billions of dollars and owned a football team, I would sit down with, my trusted people, you probably being one of them, and just say, look, I'm a fan of football. I like football. I talk about football, but I don't know how to run a football team. So I'm going to go hire somebody to run a football team and go from there.
Exactly. That's pretty simple how you do it, right? Over and done with. And that's how you get things done. And I don't know. I think you got a little sliver of hope here. I really think he's going to be a good head coach. Now he went through that awful fire in New York. Remember, we've moved past what happened there because his hands were really, really tied. Now you got a GM who knows what he's doing. You identify certain needs. Look, you can't rebuild the whole team, but I think with the draft at 4, if you get Reuben Bain, I got me a pass rusher, right? And we're going to work with him. We're going to just get your job to do that. So there's small part that's taken care of. Then the second round, maybe find that receiver that you really like or that linebacker that you like. I mean, you build it piece by piece. It's not going to all be done overnight. The Panthers were slowly building that team. If you look at them, they were kind of competitive, not great. Then they got the quarterback, they got the right coach, they put them in together, and boom, it happens. It can happen. Hell, we talk about the 98 Rams all the time. They were awful. They were 3-13. They go into 99. They had some pieces in place. Trent Green blows his knee out. Kurt Warner steps up. All he knows how to do is throw the ball deep. You had good receivers, and boom, you turn it around. Miracles happen every second of every day. And they happen across sports, about life, and everything else. So if you got a plan in place, stick to the plan, like Russ was talking about. If you stick to that plan, if they stuck to it, and let Robinson, it was okay. And now you can't go back and figure it out and rechange things. But you had something going. Just stick to a plan. That's all I'm asking.
Amen to that. We'll stick to the plan and come back with hour number 2. That is all next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. Hope you are safe. Hope you are warm. We are here for you, trying to inform and entertain throughout the day. And again, appreciate all of you for listening and interacting with us. And I know that it's tough right now with the ice storm that came through. I think for those of us that were here in 1994, I was in kindergarten. I was 6 years old, but
little guy.
I remember having to go to school on a Saturday after this thing was done. But
you know what? That's right. They did do, because there was like an extra amount of ice and snow that year, so they did do school on Saturday. Good memory, buddy.
Because I missed a week, like over a week of school, which is probably going to happen now. I mean, even if you get things semi back by Wednesday, I don't think a lot of these kids are going back to school this week.
No, just think that's okay. Weren't there built in like holidays or whatever, or not holidays, but days? Like, I didn't graduate high school till June 3rd. So it's like now they graduate May 8th or 10th because there's no more snow days. But a lot of us didn't graduate till late May, early June because we had so much snow. So take the week. Look, I know as a parent, I know it stinks, and I know you got to take care of your kids. I get all that. But I just be safe. And the only thing is, and let me get on my soapbox here for a second, and I hate this, is that I here's why I like some schools open, because for a lot of kids, Chase, you know this, that's their only meal.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I really hate that that's come to that in some places. It bugs me. It drives me crazy. And so I believe everybody has a right to eat. I believe everybody has a right to eat, especially kids. So that's why I'm like, being out of school, because some of those kids, that's their only meal. And I absolutely hate that.
Okay, so let me pass this along from Metro Nashville. And again, we had the mayor on with us yesterday, and appreciate Freddie O'Connell for joining us and talking about a lot of these things. But if you are, I know a lot of people have gone the hotel route. Most of the hotels in our area are booked. And so it's hard to find a room. The Nashville Fire Department and Metro Nashville Police Department are opening all Nashville fire stations and Metro Nashville Police Precinct community rooms, except for the Central Precinct and the East Precinct, as warming locations for residents affected by the current cold weather. So again, that's all Metro fire stations are safe warming spots. And then also Metro Precinct community rooms. That is the Central and the East are not a part of that, because they're pretty much command central right now. But Metro Police community rooms, so you can find those warming stations. They also are opening community centers that are going to be warming areas. That's the Southeast Regional Community Center at 5260 Hickory Hollow Pike in Antioch, the Madison Community Center, 550 North DuPont Avenue in Madison, and the Nashville Fairgrounds, 401 Wingrove Street in Nashville. So you can bring your pets to those locations as well.
Good. I know I've done stories when I worked in news about people in those situations won't leave because they're afraid of their pets. And trust me, I understand all that. And I think all of us do as well.
I mean, if Sawyer was still alive, I'd be afraid of him. He'd be pissed as hell if I left him and came back.
But I just couldn't imagine, Lee. I just couldn't imagine doing that. It's got to take everything with you.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we've been, talking about and we have some power, but we have the dog and don't want to leave him. So.
No, it shouldn't have to do all that. So that's good that there's all these places that people can get help, and we'll do it, man. We'll all fight together. We said yesterday, look, just a phone call to your neighbor in your neighborhood, see how people are doing, work together, same way we did the tornado in 2020. You know what? And I was reading this from the NES page. All the outages, like 270,000. You know when the second most was outages that we've had?
So is this the most?
This is the most, allegedly, from what I saw from NES. Was that derecho, whatever, that came in May of 2020? Those strong winds that came through?
Yeah.
That was, at the time, at least what I was reading today, that was the most power outages that we had in Davidson County. I can't speak
because
for
I would say we've grown so much since 94 that,
Yeah, right? So remember those winds came in? It's not a tornado, but it's like the cousin of a tornado, which we were told. I'd never heard of that word in my life. And then A lot of us were without power for 2 or 3 days, but it was also in May, so it wasn't like it is now. I mean, if it was 50 degrees, it would be a little bit better. But back then, that derecho that came through in 1st of May, because was like the tornado was bad in March 3rd of 2020, but the derecho in May was much worse.
So what in the last 30-something years, everybody always refers to the ice storm of 94. I know there have been others. There was some before that, but like 94 is the first one I really remember being so debilitating, and we always talk about it. I know there's been others since then, though.
Well, I know not really. I mean, 94 was a week. I mean, it was awful. And 93, we had the huge snow in March that came through, and that was pretty bad. But we managed. No power went out, and then you could drive on the snow. But in 94 with the ice, it was so awful. There was no power. You couldn't get anywhere. Stores were closed. And even back then, NES was busting their chops to get things done, and we got power restored. But nothing to me comes close to that. There might have been a day or two, but nothing as devastating as 94, especially snow-wise. And it kind of tapered off the last 15, 20 years. And look, if it had snowed 18 inches, we'd be fine. We had power. We would pack the snow down. We would have managed. We always managed to get it done, but this is different, man. This is so many people still without power, more than 200,000. But
here's the latest from NES. Right now, there are 167,000 customers currently without power. So that number has definitely gone down. Hey, go ahead. Had to sneeze.
Yes.
At least 143 broken poles have been reported across our service area. NES has doubled its workforce with nearly 300 line workers deployed across our service area. Call Dr. Crane. I'm sure he'll help you.
Heck yeah,
Vegetation management crews and supplemental contract crews have been deployed to complement our restoration efforts and ensure line workers can continue reaching their sites efficiently. So that's kind of where things are right now. And again, we say thank you to NES and everybody that is working to restore power in our area.
Yeah, well done. Thank you for all that. All right, have you seen this thing that Deion Sanders did at Colorado with NIL? Have you seen this?
I have not.
This is fantastic in a very bad way. Colorado and Deion Sanders are now imposing fines under the new revenue sharing at Colorado. Not sure how you can enforce it. Also, he's not a lawyer. Nobody's a lawyer. So here's the deal. If you were late to practice, you're getting fined $500. If you don't go to practice, you're getting fined $2,500. If you're late for a film meeting or a film session or meeting, you're fined $400. If you no-show to a meeting or film session, that's $2,000 fine. Late to strength work, $1,000 fine. Late to treatment, $1,000. Other violations, violation of team rules, $2,500 based on the severity of the rule. Public or social media misconduct, $5,000 based on severity of that. Let me ask you this, Chase. If you run a program and you're a pretty badass disciplinarian, head coach, mentor, do you need fines?
No,
you don't need fines.
You don't need, but I mean, he's going to treat this like an NFL program.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing.
So if I'm late to practice, you're like, give me $2,000. I'm not giving you $2,000. How do you enforce that?
Well,
how do you enforce that?
Here's the other thing. Not everybody has that.
Right. Exactly.
Like only the, only the main people on your team are going to be getting those type of NIL deals and making that kind of money. But some Joe Schmo that's on the back end of the roster, he doesn't have $2,000.
No. Again, if you run a well-run program and you have respect to your players, you're not having this. Look, I get it. I was late for a team meeting one time. I had to run my I get it. There are things that happen. And if you're egregious with all this, then you'd probably be kicked off the team. But this is something else, man. And this is, I don't know. It ain't I'm not part of my world, but if you go to Colorado, that's what you're going to get.
Interesting. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHoney.com. Mike in Lebanon has had a lot of interesting texts today, and he has another one that I want to run by you.
All right.
And I will do that coming up next. Chase and Big Joe on this Monday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this cold Monday. Joe, you know, it's funny. I don't know your thoughts on this, but I kind of looked outside for a second, and a cardinal flew by, and it's just kind of made me smile.
You know how I feel about Cardinals, brother.
Yep. So somebody was checking in. making sure we're good. So, but I hope everybody is staying safe and warm. And again, I know NES is working around the clock to restore power. A lot of trees down. I mean, there's some down in the backyard here, and I know it. My mom's, they have that as well. I can only imagine what my property looks like.
Oh my
right
gosh.
now.
Somebody had a great description of their and I forget what it was. His backyard looked like the Battle of the Bulge. Looked like World War II. And I was like, yeah, right. I mean, it looked just like it. So I imagine yours is just like that.
Yeah, probably.
But you know what? You're probably losing a lot of trees that you needed to cut down anyway.
Yeah, just hope they don't land on the house.
Good call.
That's all. That's all I'm worried about is, an oak tree laying in the middle of my living room. But can't be helped right now.
No, not at all.
But anyway, Mike in Lebanon says, do you wish that the Titans had signed Sam Darnold and traded the number 1 pick for more picks?
That is a great question, and no, because look at that Seattle team. Look at this Titans team. Sam might have gotten this team to 5 wins instead of 3. No.
Yep. I mean, my thing is, I think too many times people look at one player and think, okay, that's going to take my team. That's going to make them go from 3 wins to 13 wins. And no offense to Sam Darnold, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, but
he's not that guy.
But also, tell me about his receivers in Seattle, Chase.
He's got Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And
I went back and looked at. He was the 20th overall pick in the 2023 draft. That was when the Titans took Peter Skoronski.
Great job.
With the 11th overall pick, which again, not a terrible player by any means, but hindsight's 2020. Smith and Jigba is probably the best receiver in the league right now.
Yep.
You have him. You had a 2-headed monster at running back that was working well for you. You got a great offensive line.
You left out another receiver.
Who's the other one he has?
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Cooper Kupp. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Who is like not even what he was in LA, and he's still clutch when you need him to be.
Absolutely is.
And one of the best trades of at the trade deadline was Rashid Shaheed acquiring him from the Saints.
Amen.
He's been fantastic.
Yeah. So that was not going to happen in Nashville. Not even close. Not even close. And that defense in Seattle is, they just hawk dudes left and right. Yeah. That didn't happen in Tennessee. So none of this would have happened in Nashville. None of it. So good for Sam Darnold getting it done in Seattle.
We and Clint Kubiak too. He's been tremendous as the offensive coordinator, dialing up that scheme. So look, yeah, you can sit here and have revisionist history, and I know one person in particular is going to do that about Sam Darnold and why he should have been here. I still don't think you have the results here that you have in Seattle based on what was around it. Even with the Jeffrey Simmons or some of the players that the Titans do have, it wasn't going to make that much of a difference.
No, not the only thing I wish would have been, if that Giants rumor was true about offering all those picks for the number 1 pick, I would have done that. That's the only thing. That's it, because you'd gotten so much capital back in players. I would have done that. That's the only thing. But saying that Sam Darnold would have come here and done this, no, there's no way in Hades.
I just got a text from a friend that says, Chase, we just heard you speak well of Cardinals. We have one that keeps trying to break our bleeping window that you can come get.
So I actually know the story behind this. Cardinals see themselves in the reflection and run to the window and fly into the window. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have looked this up, and they can keep hammering that window and crack the window, but Cardinals see the reflection and I don't know, I'm sure other birds do too, but my dealings have been with Cardinals, and they keep slamming into the window over and over again. So they said, put up aluminum foil on the outside, and the Cardinals will stop doing that.
You seeing your reflection and running into the window, that was like you at Fletcher's Pizza back in the day.
Every Tuesday I would do there and run to that place. I miss that place. I miss the 4 pounds of spaghetti and cardboard pizza that I would eat every time. And I would dip my pizza in Thousand Island, and people are like, oh, that's the grossest thing ever. I'm telling you, pizza into Thousand Island, and Dr. Crane might dispute this because he's a pizza guy, is heaven to me. Dr. Crane?
No,
Well,
No.
disagree.
Yeah, well, here's what I'll say. I think in this world, you need two types of pizza. You need the really good kind of pizza that Dr. Crane can provide, and then you need the greasy, crappy, just but it's so perfect, especially at 2 a.m. or just when you're really, really hungry. I mean, I think both have their uses.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And Fletcher's and Donaldson, rest in peace, was that like it probably would never got more than a 1-star review, which is fine. But it was our pizza. It was our type of pizza that we enjoyed. The spaghetti was watered down. We didn't care, man. It was like being in prison. We loved that food. Loved it.
Oh yeah, you took me there a couple times, and I remember
The best.
being like, it was great.
Yeah, and I remember saying, don't check the Google review. You will never come over and eat. But it was always packed, always crowded, and always a good time. It was more about the ambiance than it was the food.
That is true. 615-737-1025. Gunner says, I was getting the side-by-side out yesterday and cooking breakfast on the Blackstone. Had a male and female cardinal fly in yesterday morning. Immediately thought, that's my nanny and papa. Felt good all day after that through the snow and ice.
Isn't that, see, that is a beautiful, thank you for that. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Can I ask a question, though?
Sure.
How do you know?
Don't do it.
How do you know what they are?
Don't ask. In his scenario, that was
I understand,
perfect
but I'd be like, is there something with the feathers? Like, because I don't know. I would love to know how you tell.
It's more of the direct correlation. And again, this is my religious soapbox for the second. It's a direct correlation with the Holy Spirit and also just the color of the red cardinal. It also correlates with the Catholic Church's version of the cardinal as well.
I know that part.
I know, but you're talking about your lost relatives. How do you see them as the bird itself? Normally, when you have a relative that passes and you have a cardinal that does perch onto your windowsill of some fashion, sometimes that is another reassuring thing when you go along with your life.
No, it is. And I've told the story that after my mother passed away, I was up all night with her. She passed away early in the morning, and I got home. I hadn't slept in 36 hours, and I parked my truck in the driveway, and a cardinal landed on my hood. And I didn't know the story. I did not know the significance of cardinals, and landed on my hood. And I'm like, what do you want? And I honked, and it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It came closer to the windshield. And I'm like, what in the world? And it stood there, and I got out of the truck, and it wouldn't move. Usually a bird takes off, and it just stared at me. And I mentioned to some people, I'm like, hey, this happened. Like, here's what this means to us, right? And so I've always convinced that was a signal from my mom saying, hey, man, we're going to be good. And that was it. And so I had no idea. Now I can't stop noticing cardinals when they're around. Can't do it.
Well, I'm the same way with it. No, I was just asking how you know if they're a boy or a girl. That's all I wanted to know.
But no, I think what Dr. Crane was saying in our good man story that texted in, there's 2 cardinals. He wanted it and believed that it was, and I'm 100% behind that.
By the way, Al says, see, we're trying to laugh today. Al says, about damn time you guys talk some baseball. Mutual, Lou Brock, Pujols.
Oh, that's right. And then our man Sonny Gray got traded from the Cardinals to the Red Sox.
He did. Gunner says female cardinals typically aren't red, only their beak. A male cardinal is red, or so I thought.
So what color is a female cardinal?
I don't know.
It's like a mixture of like a brownish red, if I'm not mistaken. Or that might not be a fully mature cardinal. I have to double check on that.
The one that was just outside was fat too. So like he's been eating good. Like he had a big gullet. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea that I've never seen a
a female cardinal has more like a brownish yellow tint, but it has some little red feathers underneath it. So it's like a top dressing of a yellow brown with the bottom dressing underneath of a red.
I am so confused right now. That's all right.
It's top feathers are yellow. Underneath it, there'll be some red.
Okay. Well,
I don't
that's what
call seeing a yellow bird flying around though.
You'd recognize it if you saw it.
Yeah, I don't know, but we're here to educate. That's what we're doing.
Good.
Here on this Monday. John McClain is scheduled to join us at 2:00. We'll have more coming next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. She's and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. On this Monday, a little bit of a programming notes. It'll be Adam Vingan and Parker Kelly this afternoon from 3 to 6 on both 102.5 and 94.9 The Fan. Got people without power and can't get in and all that stuff. So we're kind of improvising, but, we're here to entertain. That's what we were doing, or trying to do, at least.
Amen. That's our job. You're right. That is our job to do that. To for a couple of hours, give you a little therapy session, let you know that the world's okay, and that we got you, and things are going to be just fine.
Oh, they are indeed. So, want to know how things are in your area? 615-737-1025. You can call or text and let us know how things are going.
Yeah, how's it going out your way, buddy?
We're hanging in there.
Hey, you found your way around yet?
We'll circle back after the first of the year.
Right, we'll get it done. And do all that. Oh, man. By the way, Phillip Rivers has withdrawn his name from the Bills head coaching search, and they said that he had a legitimate shot at being the head coach of the Bills. I call absolute BS on that, but whatever.
Well, he hasn't withdrawn from a lot in his life, so that's good for him.
Oh, yes. Yes, flag that, Dr. Crane. Yes.
You're welcome.
What's he up to now? 17 kids? What do we got
Something
now?
like that.
Oh,
12?
my Lord.
I don't know. Robert Saleh's got like 8, I think.
And doesn't Sean Alexander have like 11 or something? I mean, it's
maybe
crazy.
Excuse me. I can't imagine. I don't know. You had 2.
And I barely know their names, right? I don't, it's like, imagine having 9 cats. That's what having 9 kids is like. Like,
Yeah,
what in
like
the
that.
hell?
Something like that. Or 9 dogs, even better.
I think 9 dogs would be better than 9, because cats don't care about you at all.
No,
Dogs want some sort of affection, at least a little bit, and
Yeah.
they'll come around. But man,
including the one that's next to me right now.
that dude, that puppy dog is special.
He is. He's a good boy. No, cat. Here's the thing: cats don't care about you, and they hate each other. So that's the problem.
Right. So that's like having 9 kids, man.
Yeah.
Same thing. Complete
Especially
chaos.
Especially as teenagers.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it would happen.
That is a good point.
By the way, Chase, the Arizona Cardinals still do not have a head coach, and nowhere I'm looking right now has anybody interviewed for that job. I think they might just shut that franchise down.
They probably should. Browns don't have a coach. Cardinals don't have a coach. McCarthy's gone to Pittsburgh.
Buffalo doesn't have a coach.
Buffalo don't have a coach. Minter goes to Baltimore, which I think is an interesting hire. What am I missing?
Is that it?
Maybe,
That is all there is for right now with New England, Buffalo, Miami. Yeah, Miami got their coach. Pittsburgh got theirs. Baltimore got those. Cleveland does not have
Raiders.
one.
Raiders don't have one.
Raiders don't have one. Yep. Did you see? This is funny on Instagram right now. So Fernando Mendoza is liking all of Will Levis's ex-girlfriend's pictures on Instagram. You seen this story?
I have not.
He's liking all their, and now everybody is saying he could do the best thing ever by taking her to the draft with him. Did she not go to the draft with Will Levis, right? In 23?
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. So they broke up, and now Mendoza's liking every picture of hers on Instagram. Again, drama. I love drama. We're not involved.
I agree. So here, I'm trying to pull this up for you. The Packers are going to hire Jonathan Gannon, the former Cardinals coach, as their defensive coordinator.
Okay.
The Giants, we know, have hired John Harbaugh. They're going to hire Denard Wilson from here to be the defensive coordinator. Zach Robinson, who is the Falcons OC, is going to Tampa. And let's see, interview. I was trying to find something with interviews with the Cardinals because I think they're interviewing Mike LaFleur.
Is that Matt's brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, how about Arthur Smith going to Ohio State?
Crazy, right? I mean, it's like he was interviewed here as the OC or interested as a head coach, didn't get the call back. And then like, he might be the OC here. Then last night I was like, he's going to go to Ohio State. I don't know, man. I don't. Maybe you just need to change for a little bit and go back to college and just do it there for a little bit. Have fun with it. I mean, it's not like he's going to, University of Minnesota. He's going to Ohio State. So they're going to be loaded. And all the reports are they're number one going into the 26 season as well. And LSU is the number one team in the portal right now. They've got number ones all over the place. But Art Smith, good for him. Go back and call some plays in college for a little bit and have fun.
So the Cardinals are going to interview Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur for a second time.
Woo! That sets the world on fire.
Yeah.
Whee!
I mean, they've interviewed others. They requested to interview Art Smith, but I don't know if he ever did it or not. So that's what
nobody wants that
do.
job. I mean, again, that's just. I mean, as far as the national landscape, I think they might be worse than the Titans when it comes to coverage and people caring about them.
Yeah. I'll be curious who takes these remaining jobs. Like the Bills is now interesting. I mean, I would think Dayball's the favorite.
You would hope so. In the back of Tom Brady's mind, he's like, God, I would love to have Josh McDaniels, but we've been there and done that.
Well, he just got fired from there.
Right, yeah. But that was before Brady got there.
Yeah.
And he'd say, man, that's my guy and all that, but ain't. And you see Josh McDaniels took a victory lap around Mile High Stadium yesterday after the game.
Good for him. I would have.
Took a victory lap. Yes. Running around. Here I am.
I would have had two middle fingers out too.
Yeah, when was he with the Broncos?
Well, remember who he ran off? Our boy Jay Cutler, because he wanted Tebow.
He did. Let's see. When was he there? Because
So-
Tebow was drafted in 2010. Hold on, folks. I'm efforting this.
So he replaced Shanahan. So it would have been like 2009.
What's 2009? He was 8-8. In 2009, 3-9, and it says the finish. He was fired.
So 2009 was that Cutler or was that
Cutler got traded to
Chicago
after the so they never crossed path. They got rid of him before he could even coach him.
Yeah.
Because Cutler was there 6, 7, and 8, and then went to the Bears in 9, and then McDaniels took over in 9, and then drafted Tebow in 2010.
And then when did Tebow go to the playoffs?
That would have been the 11th season. He was not the coach. That was John Fox, I think. That took him to the
No. It was was it John Fox or Vance Joseph?
I don't look at him. I don't know. He wasn't there in 2011. His last to the playoffs was 2011.
Let's see. John Fox. You're right.
John Foxy.
Yeah, he was there from 11 to 14.
Yep. And so that was the same time. Well, Tebow was over 11, 12, and 13, I think it was. 11 and 12, because, man, I took over in 2013, my first year there.
Yeah.
Though he was 2012, because Peyton set out the 11th season, right? And then took over. Yeah. And 12, Peyton came back to Denver. Remember they had that Hail Mary, Jacoby Jones caught that pass, and the Ravens beat Denver in Denver 13. Man, I let them Super Bowl.
Because they sent Tebow to the Jets.
That's right. And then Seattle beat Denver in the Super Bowl in 13. And then 15, they got back, and that's when Peyton won the Super Bowl over the Panthers in 2015. God, so many moving parts, man. And that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
And Kubiak was there 15 and 16, won the Super Bowl. Then Vance Joseph was there 17-18. Vic Fangio, 19 to 21. Nathaniel Hackett for not even a full season.
Terrible.
And then Sean Payton.
Terrible. Again, they keep hiring these cute offensive coordinators, and some of it works, most of it doesn't. And then now you got two defensive coaches have led their team to the Super Bowl, and Mike McDonald and Michael Vrabel.
I remember I was out there like that first training camp with Hackett and listening to sports talk and everything, and everybody was like so excited about him, except for like one host that was just like, man, I don't know. It was kind of like you felt about Callahan being at the first few practices of like, I don't think he's ready to be a head coach.
Thank you for that. Thank you for noticing that. Just brutal. Just absolutely brutal.
Where did where is Callahan now?
Well, he
Atlanta.
interviewed Bill.
no?
Daddy is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Brian still hasn't, and Brian's getting paid for another 3 to 4 years. So, but I know, I mean, you're a coach, you want to coach, and that's the thing. I know we interviewed that job in Tampa, didn't get it, so who knows? Like, I mean, I'll be curious to see where the staff lands up. Like Nick Holtz, where does he land up? Although he's never called a play in his life, but I make suggestions.
He's given a lot of suggestions.
God, the day he told us that, I looked at you and I immediately looked down at the ground. I'm like, if I look at Chase for another second, I'm going to laugh in this guy's face. And I could not do it. Very pleasant, very nice guy, great interview.
He was super nice.
But when I asked him what his job was, he's like, I make suggestions. I was like, God, that's kind of like me at the radio station here. I make suggestions. None of them are ever used because they're all dumb. But I was like, this is not good. This is not the football I know, and it's not going to work, and it didn't work.
615-737-1025. We'll keep this train moving. Coming up next is Chasing Big Joe on a Monday, 1025 The Game. Big Joe, 1025 The Game here on this Monday. Hope you're having a great day so far. Staying warm, staying safe. Justin on our text line says, snowed in at my house. Thankfully, I never lost power. This is the view from my back window and lots of trees with the ice in them.
Right.
So
I like the comment from James below about our conversation about birds. Most male birds are more colorful to attract the females.
okay.
Right. So that's what happens.
I mean, you have a colorful personality. That's kind of what you do.
Yeah, that's what we do. So thank you for James. Who knew we had so many great knowledgeable bird listeners?
What is that called? Like a ornithologist or
Good Lord. Hit the dump button for that.
I said ornithology or something like that.
A bird watcher, right?
Yeah.
I think that's correct. I'm too lazy to go at least to make sure we're not getting fined by the FCC over this. What is a bird watcher or bird watcher called? Okay, what is a bird watcher? If it says peeping Tom, I'm throwing my computer through the window. Oh my God, a bird watcher is commonly called a bird watcher. Good Lord.
So what are you talking about, Chase?
We
just had him on last week.
A peeping Tom.
Ornithology is the scientific study of birds. So he's right.
There we go. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a branch of zoology dedicated to the study of birds. So well done on that one. See,
thank you.
That's what you get when you go to FRA as opposed to McGavick. Right there. Good job, Chase.
Thank you. I try.
Ornithology. Although I said we had Neil Lauren on last week, so that might have been the same thing.
Yeah. 615. We're losing it. 737-1025. Dylan says I'm right. So thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. I try to be at least once or twice a week is what I go for.
Yeah.
John McClain going to join us coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah. Interesting to talk to John about all what's happening and the job. I mean, look, we talk again. It's like Vrabel. But again, the job of getting that team to the Super Bowl. Is he did we have this discussion? Is he the first guy to lead his team he played for as a head coach? Super Bowl? Yes. Okay.
He would be the first. I know he'd be the first to win it because I talked about that last night, that he'd be the first to win a Super Bowl and as a player and as a coach for the same franchise.
Okay.
Head coach, that is.
Head coach.
Yeah, head coach.
Because Ditka did it back in the day as well as an assistant coach.
But he didn't win as a player.
With the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But did he play for the Cowboys?
He did.
Yeah.
For just a few years. Yeah, he did do that.
Okay.
But, you know, the great question we did the other day, not the presidents and quarterbacks, but what NFL franchise has drafted the most Heisman Trophy winners? Crazy. Now, the Titans have drafted 4. Earl Campbell, Eddie George, Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry. If the Raiders draft Mendoza, which they will, they'll also have 4 Heisman Trophy winners. But one team has drafted 5 Heisman Trophy winners. Do you know what it is, Chase McCabe?
Let me think. I don't.
Keep getting one. Just guess. Think about it.
5 Heisman Trophy winners. Cowboys?
No, sir.
Okay. Man. Steelers?
Nope.
I mean, is it an obvious one?
No, it's not, but it's like once you hear like, oh, okay, I get it now. But yeah, this team has drafted 5 Heisman Trophy winners, 4 running backs and 1 quarterback.
4 running
and the
backs.
first one was drafted not in the 40s or 50s, but in the Super Bowl era.
Okay. Let's see.
This would be 5. This franchise drafted 5 Heisman Trophy winners.
You said the Raiders and the Titans have 4.
What the Cowboys got? Staubach and Dorsett? Is that it?
Herschel?
But it was not. Hold on now.
Didn't Herschel win it?
I think he did win it. Okay.
They drafted him.
You're right. That's 3.
Emmett won it.
Did not.
Did not win it. Yeah. Okay. 5.
I will tell you. We'll get. How about this? They're in the NFC.
They're in the NFC.
Somebody on the text line has popped in and said anything. Oh, it's a tough one, man.
This is a tough one.
I didn't get it. It took me a while. Then I finally got it right. I was like, man, this was first. I'm gonna give you the schools that they played for. Right?
Okay.
One played for South Carolina. One played for Texas. One played for USC. One played for Alabama.
The Saints.
There you go, buddy. George Rogers, 1980. Ricky Williams, 1998. Reggie Bush, 2006.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram, 2009. And can you guess the quarterback? Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that was drafted by the Saints. He's an SEC quarterback drafted by the Saints.
SEC quarterback drafted by the Saints. Danny Werfel?
Attaboy! Ding, 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 ding. Good job, Chaser. 5 Heisman Trophy winners drafted by the New Orleans Saints.
Wow. We had Green Bay was a guess, 49ers, Redskins were all guesses. When you said the schools, I like that helped me.
Yeah. South Carolina, because they only had one. That gives it away. And then
is that George Rogers?
That is George Rogers, man. Who ended up finally winning a Super Bowl with the Redskins in 87 after his time in New Orleans was not very good. So
what was the let me pull this up. The stat you guys sent, you and Ricky sent this morning, that Sam Darnold will be the first USC quarterback to start a Super Bowl.
Isn't that crazy? And have they not had more quarterbacks drafted? I read that too. They've had more quarterbacks drafted in the NFL, and this will be the first USC quarterback to ever start a Super Bowl. Now, Pat Hayden was a quarterback of the Rams in 79 when we made the Super Bowl, but he got hurt halfway through the season, and Vince Ferragamo took over. Vince Ferragamo's daughter actually played college basketball at Vanderbilt.
Oh, wow.
Small. We're all connected in this very small world.
So let's see. USC quarterbacks that are in the NFL or were drafted in the NFL. Let's see how many there are. Hang on.
Matt Leinert's one of those.
Leinert's one.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Wasn't Matt Barkley one of those?
Yep.
Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer. I mean, Carson. I think Jordan might have not.
Bill Nelson back in the 60s.
That guy's crazy.
Pete Beathard. Mike Holmgren. Mike Holmgren?
I thought he went to BYU, but maybe he didn't.
Yeah, they have him with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow.
Mike Ray, Pat Hayden, Vince Evans, Rob Hurdle, Paul McDonald, Rodney Peete, Todd Marinovich, Pat O'Hara, Rob Johnson, Kyle Wachholtz.
I don't know.
Carson Palmer, Matt Castle, Matt Leinart, John David Booty, Mark Sanchez, Matt Barkley, Cody Kessler, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Frank Gifford, Ben Wilson, Mike Garrett. Oh, wait, no, I'm going into running backs now. Sorry. I was like, Frank Gifford's not a quarterback.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a crazy stat, man.
That's a wild stat.
Yeah, also, another Super stat that came out of colleges that have scored the most points in the Super Bowl. And it was like Miami. These are players who played at colleges. Like Miami was like 84, and like Memphis was third with 75.
Jeez.
So it had to be Gostkowski, right? What need a kicker for the
Patriots?
Yeah, through a lot of those Super Bowls.
Well, he was it was what's his name?
Vinatieri.
Vinatieri
Vinatieri.
for the first dynasty, and then Gostkowski for the second.
Yep, that's right. So all these great Super Bowl stats will come out. And then the final one was the Super Bowl President of the United States combination. There's been 5 presidents and 5 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks from the same college. And then if Drake May wins, that'll be 6 because James K. Polk, shout out to JKP, went to North Carolina. So did Drake May. Crazy.
Okay,
I love that stuff.
Who are the other ones?
Joe Biden and Joe Flacco went to Delaware. Roger Staubach and Jimmy Carter went to Navy. Gerald Ford and Tom Brady went to Michigan. And then I'm leaving one off. I can't remember right now.
Is there a Yale?
No. Oh, is it? No, it wasn't Fitzpatrick. Oh, what's the other one? Ricky, damn it, where are you?
Well, Fitzpatrick, you're saying that won a Super Bowl?
No, yeah, I'm thinking Harvard and Fitzpatrick. But Fitzpatrick never won a Super Bowl. Never played the Super Bowl.
Okay, we'll have to look this up. I'd be curious. Maybe McLean knows. We'll ask him. John McLean going to join us. Coming up next, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. Hope you're staying warm. Hope you're safe. We're trying to keep you entertained and having a good time here this afternoon. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. And we say hello now to John McClain down in Houston. John, hope everything's good down there.
Yeah, I feel terrible as someone who's lost power for as much as 2 weeks in the summer, in August. I'd much rather lose power in the winter than summer. I know what people are going through up there, and I feel terrible for them. And as I told Nick, I'm looking at a thing on Front Office Sports, drone shots of the Titans' new stadium going over it. Man, it looks great. And I can certainly see why there were traffic issues this season, considering it's right next to the old stadium. But I'm fired up to get into that, and I hope everybody stays warm and gets their power back. And I know it's frustrating, but those people, they're doing everything they can to try to get the power back for everybody.
There is no doubt. All right, so I'm going to run. This is something Joe and I were just talking about. I'm going to see if you know the answer to this. Fun little trivia question. There have been 5 U.S. colleges that have produced both a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Can you name them?
I have no
or Super Bowl
idea.
winning starting quarterback.
I have no idea. All I know is that great stat I saw last night that USC's had more quarterbacks drafted in any school, and they're about to have their first start in the Super Bowl.
Yes, they are.
So go ahead, fire away.
The answer is Delaware, Joe Biden, Joe Flacco, Miami, Ohio, Harrison and Roethlisberger, Michigan, Ford and Brady, Stanford, Hoover, Elway, and they also have Jim Plunkett on there. Did he start a Super Bowl?
Yes, 1980 and 83.
He won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. And then the Naval Academy with Carter and Staubach.
Well, if I got any of them, and I had a long time to think about it, it might have been Michigan.
Yeah, there you go. But an interesting one. So what do you think of this matchup? Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots will take on Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks.
I think it's very interesting when I see the Titans getting ripped for firing Vrabel when so many people among the fans and the media wanted him fired. And you never see these people ripping the Titans point out Mike's last 2 records there, which were terrible. And they act like they were in the playoffs, and then they got fired. And that, of course, wasn't the case. And I'm happy for Mike. I like him. I liked him here when he was the defensive coordinator. I liked him when he was playing for the Patriots, and I covered them a lot. And what he's done with that team and that defense with Drake May just throwing the ball terribly. Let's face it, he was awful throwing the ball yesterday, but his running helped him. And the defense has just been fantastic. And nobody was talking about that defense during the season. It was all about the Texans and the Seahawks and the Broncos. And on the other hand, I'm a big fan of Gary Kubiak's family. And Gary's son, Clint, is the offensive coordinator for Seattle. Gary and his wife, Rhonda, were at the game. And I would like to see Clint be able to win a Super Bowl ring. Gary won 3, 4, and he kept a ring for himself, and he gave 1 to each of his sons. And maybe Clint could give his back and accept his new one. I think it'd be pretty cool for that family to have 2. And like everybody, I think I'm happy for Sam Darnold. 5 teams in 8 years. It's just amazing when you get with the right coach and the right system. And he went with Kevin O'Connell last year. Kevin's known as one of the best offensive coaches in the NFL, and I believe Clint Kubiak is too. And I bet a lot of those Viking fans are sorry they let him go, but I'm really happy for Darnold playing as great as he did with that oblique injury. And then Matthew Stafford deserved better. My goodness, how great he played in those last 2 games against Seattle, and they lost both.
I did not realize that Kubiak had won 4 in his career.
Let me thank you. He won 1 with San Francisco, and he won 2 as offensive coordinator with Denver, and then he was a head coach for Super Bowl 50. So,
Yeah.
he's got 4, and he distributed them. And I asked him one time, what would you have done if you had 4 kids? Give away the 4th one and not have one yourself? He said, I don't have to answer that question. They're a first-class family. Mike McDonald's done a tremendous job. Mike Vrabel's done a tremendous job. I'm kind of glad these teams are in there. I'm glad Kansas City wasn't in the playoffs. I used to get tired of New England, but they've been totally rebuilt. And, some people are squawking because Belichick hadn't been hired in Buffalo. What did Belichick do there when Brady wasn't there? He
Nothing.
didn't do jack squat. What did he do at North Carolina? He didn't do jack squat. And that's why I think I'd love to see Clint Kubiak get to go to Buffalo. There's a lot of talk he might go to the Raiders and coach Fernando Mendoza. But I look for a great game involving 2 great defenses and 2 good quarterbacks. And Drake May, I think, is going to have to play a whole lot better for the Patriots to have a chance to win.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, sorry. John McClain's with us on the Chase and Big Joe show. John, the fact that Buffalo is still sitting without a head coach, Arizona without a head coach. Let's talk about Cleveland for a second, John. I've read all reports about people have alleged I don't want to go there because I don't work with Sanders. I don't want to work with Haslam. You got Deshaun Watson come back. Nobody wants to step into drama. And I'm just curious to see who's going to take this job, John.
Well, somebody will, because there's only 32. There's some young guys out there, and it's amazing to me with Davis Webb and Grant Udinski that people are trying to find the next Sean McVay, a young guy, 30 years old, but that's so rare to find somebody that young. Davis Webb who played for Cliff Kingsbury at Texas Tech, was drafted by the Giants, has been a fast riser, and he coached Josh Allen for 3 years. He would seem to be a natural. And then he could bring in his former boss, Cliff Kingsbury, to be the offensive coordinator, even though I'm sure Davis has never called plays. Kingsbury has called plays everywhere he's been. So that would seem to be a natural place for them. And as far as Cleveland, it's so weird because you have the quarterback situation, uncertainty over Watson, the controversy over Shedeur Sanders, no fault of his own, but he's so divisive because of who he is, his daddy and all that, and fans and media have all got such a strong opinion on a guy who was a 5th-round draft choice. And in Arizona, you talk about flying below the radar.
Right.
They're skating on the ground. It's like nobody wants to go to work for that franchise. So they're going to have to get a retread who's just happy to get a job, or a young guy. And I'm guessing it'll be one of those. But it is amazing. I think the 3 of us and Nick are the only ones that haven't turned down the Cleveland job. And it's embarrassing for the franchise because they have a great defense with the best defensive player in the NFL, a great fan base, moving into a new stadium, which is going to be ideal for their next quarterback. But they ought to just, like some teams, take your lumps this year and be ready for next year's draft, which is supposed to be one of the best ever for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I just don't see, John. I mean, the Watson thing is now he's determined to come back. He's going to start in 26. And I mean, do you want to get in the middle of all that? And again, I know there's 1 of 32 jobs, but if this is going to be the way, and you can't make your own decisions, you can't be your own quarterback, and you're forced upon this, I see exactly why nobody's taking this job.
There's so many people that pulled out. I don't think Watson will ever play for him again. It'll be between Gabriel and Sanders again, with the hopes that they will have a shot next year. Because next year, if you pick in the top half of the first round, you might be able to get a top quarterback prospect. They have 2 number 1 picks. They need to fortify a wide receiver in their offensive line and start preparing for that next quarterback. But maybe it'll be somebody really young, one of these other guys that you could fail, go back to being an assistant somewhere else and get another chance. But it sure is interesting, and it's got to frustrate the fans up there so much.
I would think so. We'll have more with John McClain coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
All right, guys, Big Joe here. Listen, we talk a lot about mental health on our show. We talk a lot about anxiety and depression, 2 words that can just wreck your life if you let them. And sadly, most of us lead lives of quiet desperation, but it does not have to be that way. That's why we are so honored to be partnering with Unity Psychiatric Care, just based right here in Middle Tennessee, to get you back on track and living the life you so deserve. I'll tell you all the time, reaching out to someone and talking to someone and going to therapy changed my life, and I want the same for you. Here's all you got to do. Just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show. There, you will see a link for Unity Psychiatric Care on the right side, and start taking back your life. It is private, it's secure, it's confidential. No one has to know. They got telehealth. I just need you to go do it and see how much it can change your life. Also, this is important. You may be the one who notices a loved one isn't doing well. You could be that person to turn their life around. And again, just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show, and then on the right side, all the information you need for Unity Psychiatric Care. Listen, we love you so much, and help is just around the corner. Take back your life. And please know you don't have to go through any of this alone.
Chase and Big Joe 1025, the game on this Monday, continuing our conversation with John McClain down in Houston. John, Robert Saleh becoming the next head coach of the Tennessee Titans. He's going to be introduced on Thursday. They've kind of pushed that back with all the weather and everything that we have here. Plus, he had some family stuff as well that he had going on. What, in your mind, is the biggest thing he needs to do differently here than he didn't do with the Jets?
Well, first of all, I wonder if Robert's kicking himself because he didn't go to Cleveland, because he could have coached a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I know,
George
right?
Sanders added to the Pro Bowl is one of the dumbest things I have ever seen. Every other quarterback in the AFC must have turned him down. That is just unbelievable. But good for Shador. As far as Robert, it's one of the things he's already doing is he's going to call the defenses. I don't know why he didn't call the defenses with the Jets. I'm guessing it was his decision. He wanted to be a head coach. He thought it was going to be a good job. They fired him before they should have fired him. Everybody up there said that. He didn't have a quarterback. And I think anytime you've been a head coach, you're going to learn. He learned good things about coaching from the 49ers and with the Texans when he was under Gary Kubiak and with Seattle, but he learned the bad things about coaching from the Jets. And that's who makes the personnel decisions, who the owner is. That experience has got to make him a smarter head coach, better able to deal with the things that are come up. And I can tell you right now, I don't care if they don't add another defensive player, and they will. That defense is going to be terrific, led by Simmons and his running mate at tackle. And I'm real fired up to watch the Titans defense. And, of course, we're all fired up to see what they do on offense, especially the weapons they put around Cam Ward and how much Cam Ward develops. Those coaches for the offensive line, offensive coordinator, and quarterback coach are so important.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that works too. I think they want Brian Daboll. It just depends on what happens with the Bills moving forward. Mike McCarthy going to Pittsburgh. You like that?
It's interesting, guys, that Mike McCarthy and John Harbaugh, you put their records and careers right up next to each other, and they're almost the same. And yet everybody wanted Harbaugh. Harbaugh got all this positive publicity. Now the Steelers are being ripped because they hired Mike McCarthy. But one of the things they didn't follow in the tradition going back to 69 for hiring an assistant coach from defense. But that's 19 years ago. Times change. And I think McCarthy, what he did, helping Brett Favre at the end of his Packers career, helping develop Aaron Rodgers, and what he did with Dak Prescott. People forget that with the Cowboys, he won 12 games 3 years in a row when Dak was healthy almost the whole time. And then Dak wasn't healthy. So I think they need a quarterback, whether they bring back Aaron Rodgers another year or not. They're still going to need a quarterback, and I think he's a good guy to get the job done. And I do think him being from Pittsburgh and a diehard Steeler fan his whole life played a role into it. But I can't wait to see, does he do better with the Steelers than John Harbaugh does with the Giants, even though Harbaugh has a good young quarterback.
John McClellan is with us on the Chase and Big Joe show. John, we'll go back to Robert Saleh for a moment. When you were with him in Texas, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, what do you remember about him? Obviously, you don't talk to a lot of assistant coaches back then, but evidently there was something there to retain him and keep him there because, coaching interns come in left and right, but he had that something where they kept him around for a while.
Robert was hired in 2005 for the bottom of the barrel and by Dom Capers, who was the Texans' first head coach. He was fired after the 2005 season. Gary Kubiak was hired in 2006. Somebody recommended him to Gary, who Gary trusted, so they kept him 5 more years. And Robert worked his way up coaching linebackers. That's how he got to be friends with D'Amico Ryans. And when Kyle Shanahan was hired by the 49ers in 17, he had Robert as his defensive coordinator. And Robert's the one who called D'Amico, who was volunteering his high school in Alabama, to see if he wanted to come to get the band back together. And so D'Amico said, sure. And he went out and interviewed, and the rest is history. Saleh's a really good people person. He's got a good personality. He can be really tough, a disciplinarian. And I'm told by people that worked with him out there and with the Jets, he does a good job with the media. And one of the things is he's got, and I think he'll hit a home run at his introductory news conference because he's been dealing with the New York, New Jersey media, and he knows how to handle himself. I never saw any stories, and I tried to keep up with his career there because I was interested in how he would do as a first-time head coach. And I remember him get blasted because they were losing, but I never saw anybody blasting him because he was rude to people. And I think he'll hit a home run in the first news conference because he's got to convince you guys who helped convince the fans that he's the man for the job. And everybody knows for him, he's proven to be a great defensive coach. It's all about who he's able to hire for offense. And I'm hoping he'll do a tremendous job. But as you guys know, they need talent.
Yeah, and they do, and it's cyclical too, John. I mean, you look at it; the run was on the young offensive coaches, and now I think at least solid to me, John. He's kind of like Vrabel, not 2.0, but maybe 1.5, just a hard ass. And these Patriot players, when they ask about Vrabel, like, look, from day one, he was holding us accountable, and that's what I hear about Robert Saleh from the ex-players. Like, we know he's hard on us, but we know he cares about us. So I see solid, John, a little bit being a Vrabel, not 2.0, but maybe a 1.5.
And that's a great point. And the thing about Robert is he's worked with enough coaches now, and he's worked for offensive head coach, he's worked for defensive head coach. He knows how important that side of the ball is, and I can't wait to see him get to work and see who he puts together on his staff. The attitude is going to be really upbeat with him around because that's the kind of person he is. Robert works his butt off to stay in great shape. I mean, he looks the part of a head coach. You look at Vrabel, D'Amico Ryans. There's a lot of these coaches. They're no offense to Mike McCarthy or Kyle Shanahan, who seems like he's losing weight every year. Those guys look like they could go out, strap on the pads, and play right now. I think that they always say a leader of men. Well, you know what? You're not a leader of women. You're just a leader.
Right.
And I think like Mike, when Mike walked into the locker room, if he'd have been a bad coach or had a bad personality, he wouldn't have been so imposing. Well, Mike, along with being imposing, is really a player's coach. But boy, he jumps on their butt. I've seen him chewing players out, but they respect him. And I think that's what it's going to be with Saleh. And if Cam Ward turns out the way everybody hopes he will, and they add some weapons for him and build that offense around him the way Ryan Poles did last year for Ben Johnson, they can be, I'm not saying they're going to the playoffs, but they can be one of the most improved teams in the league.
John, were you surprised it wasn't Matt Nagy because the relationship that him and Borgonzi had, they were real close in Kansas City, that article about how close they were and doing a lot of things together. I thought it was a done deal, but then Saleh comes in, and John, the report is that he had a plan for Cam Ward, and I think that blew everybody away. Like, he gets this. He's more than just a defensive guy. He had it going on. But were you surprised that Matt Nagy didn't get it?
Yeah, Nagy has been close to Bergonzi. They're trying to help him get a head coaching job. He's probably going to end up being an offensive coordinator again. And if he's calling plays, that'll help him. And but I don't think a lot of people there would have been fired up. You would have had to take Bergonzi's word for it since he worked with him. I'm glad they didn't hire somebody from Kansas City or Green Bay where Bergonzi and Chad Brinker had spent so much of their career. And so we all thought it was going to be Nagy. And then when they pivoted to Saleh, I'm sure a lot of people there were relieved that it wasn't somebody you've worked with hiring your buddy. And I wish Nagy all the luck in the world. He's a good guy. If you can go to the playoffs twice, go 12-4 with Mitchell Trubisky, you've got something on the ball. But when Saleh gets in there with his energy and his personality, you're going to hear the players saying great things about him, and that gets everybody fired up.
No doubt. John, appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much as always.
Absolutely. John McClain down in Houston, talking some football with him. We'll come back with more here on this Monday. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday.
Also, we talk about, we love like what day is this and history days. 6 years ago today, Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash.
Oh man,
That
you're
crash
right.
6 years ago today. Awful.
I was watching the other night on Amazon, and they were talking about great Kobe moments because it was, I guess, the anniversary of the 81-point game that he had, which was really cool. And they had Udonis Haslem talking about. They had each of the panels, so it was Steve Nash and Blake Griffin and several of others that played with him, but or played against him. Udonis Haslem was one of them, and he was just like, "Man, I'll never forget. We're playing them, and with the Heat and LeBron and D Wade are like, we all have our assignments and everything." And Kobe just burnt my ass, and I'm still not over it. Like you could see just the respect, but also the disappointment in his eyes as well. So that was just, but it's hard to believe it's been 6 years, man. That's crazy.
Isn't that just time flies? It's funny. A week ago, we're watching the national championship game. I mean, time flies. So that all correlates to what we're doing with now with the weather, and it'll change. It'll just a little patience, and then it'll change, and we'll be okay after a little bit. So that's where we are, man, with everything still going on. And I haven't seen the latest from NES, but
I got to read this text from Al though. Al, I appreciate the humor in all of this. He said, I just saw a news report that said Nashville has over 300 linemen trying to restore power to residents. Wouldn't running backs or wide receivers be so much faster? Alan Franklin, Al Day, Al the time. Well done, Al. That was a good one.
Al Day, Al the time.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, the latest. I mean, look, I know they're out there working really, really hard. It's funny. I told you we have half power. Some things that were working now aren't working. So
I don't get the half power.
I don't.
So like,
I guess it's low voltage. Is just how it is. Where, I mean, I'm able to get the radio stuff working. I've been able to charge phones, but now I can't charge iPads. So it's like I'm using too much. So it's
okay,
back and forth.
All right. Well, I mean, I that's just you got a little bit though, right? You're okay with a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're working as hard as they can, baby.
Well, and they just tweeted out a picture that they're on Davidson, so that's the west side of town, so that's good.
West side. Yeah. Tomorrow, mid-30s, sunshine, so that should help out a little bit. But I still, again, the message: check on your neighbors. Go stay with somebody if you need to. And if there's the warming stations around, I think you read those all early in the show. Yeah. Around town, there's avenues to help out. So what does Mr. Rogers always say? Look for the helpers, right?
Yep.
Isn't that what it is? So look for the helpers. They're always out there.
This is something else that NES has put out there. Why does my neighbor have power, but I don't? This is a common customer question. To help the most customers quickly, NES prioritizes repairs that restore power to the largest number of customers first. If your neighbor has power, but your home doesn't, a secondary fault may be the cause. These smaller outages will need to be addressed individually. Thank you for your patience as we navigate this record-setting storm. We won't stop until everyone is back online.
So isn't that like paying off a credit card? Like you pay off the biggest first, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm told? I don't know, I got so many out there. I don't know where to start, but you take care of the biggest, then you go down and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So, and I get that. Look, I totally understand. They go to the most populated areas first and then kind of work their way, but they're navigating through so many different things, which I totally get.
Look, the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center, this just came out. Potential is increasing for another significant winter storm to impact the eastern United States this coming weekend. It's too early to know the details, but please keep updated with the latest forecast this week. Tennessee is covered in this. So I don't know. This is now very early in all this from the Weather Prediction Center for the National Weather Service. This is a high altitude disturbance will dive out of Canada Thursday. See, Canada again. and deepen across the east by Saturday, leading to a strong surface low pressure system, which will collide with something come up for the Gulf. So
So they're basically saying we're going to get more.
But who knows? It's a significant coastal winter storm this weekend. I think here's where I think I don't know anything. I don't know much about anything, but somehow I think the Rocky Mountains are going to save our tail. I don't think the storm gets past the Rockies.
Yeah,
that's me.
Well, hopefully they're not the Rockies in Colorado because that team sucks.
Right. So keep your eye. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but just letting you people know what's happening. So right now we're in the 10% chance of this, and then the coast is about 50% with this moderate winter storm impact from Friday to Monday.
Okay.
What it looks like. Hey, we're just passing the message on to keep our
well, let's one day at a time, hour by hour, minute by minute. That's all we can do.
Right. Say one day at a time.
All I know
sweet
is
Jesus.
All I know is Dr. Crane, all this talk about linemen, and we haven't heard Wichita linemen at all today.
I got it queued up.
Oh, you're the man.
Yep.
Like right now?
No, not now, but that was the next song I was going to play.
Yes. I'm so proud of you. You just read my mind. That is a great song.
I still think we'll see Dr. Crane swinging from limb to limb, chopping things down, wearing a cut-off T-shirt.
Nani will be like, now, Nikki, you be careful.
Yeah, she had to sleep on the couch last night. We have like an L-shaped couch, so it was her and I bunking together.
Oh. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're there to take care of her.
Yeah, thank you.
I know she is too.
We have my mom and dad, and then myself and her. So my brother has power, and he's just gloating about it. So
he's hogging it all.
Yeah, for the most part. He lives up a hill, so we can't get to him. He's like he's perched up on a hill.
It's convenient. I am curious. They for the NASCAR fans out there, in 5 days they're supposed to be racing at Bowman Gray Stadium, which is covered with ice and snow right now. So not so sure that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Have they ever raced in snow or have been postponed because of snow?
Yeah. Bristol a few years ago had it happen, and Kurt Busch won the race and did a snow angel.
Really?
In the infield.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but that's excellent. If that happened, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So pretty funny.
Now,
pretty
I saw the National Super Speedway tweet. Is the race this year at the Super Speedway moved up to late May? Did I see that?
No, it's the same weekend that it was last year.
Oh, was it late May last year?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
I don't know.
Good Lord.
Around.
I am rounds of shape. That's me. So I have been around. Built like Homer Simpson.
We haven't had a chance to do this. So by the way, I didn't go to Gatlinburg. We ended up staying here, but I know we talked to Rick Ensel on Wednesday. They ended up losing Thursday, but did win Friday. So he has now officially joined the 500 win club. So congratulations to the Lady Raiders and Coach Ensel.
We had him on last Wednesday, but what a great stat and accomplishment to do that, to win that many games. I mean, that's 700 in high school, 500 in college at one school is it's crazy, man. So well deserved.
Yeah. By the way, some of the videos that people are posting on social media, somebody's got a flamethrower, and that's how they're clearing their driveway.
I would love to
and
have
it says
that.
Work smarter, not harder.
I would love to have that. That'd be fantastic. I did tell that they do say don't boil hot water and then pour it on your windshield.
No,
It'll crack. Not crack it. I mean, it'll shatter it all the way.
If you want one of those little propane things, Joe, you just get a propane tank and get a line and then put a little bit of a fire gun to the end of it.
I'd like that.
You got your blowtorch.
It also could keep the neighbors away. That's the thing. Stay over there. We're good. Don't come over here. Stay away.
This is just Chase get distracted by Twitter. Somebody posted that they tried to get their tire pressure up to 100 psi, which I don't even know how you got it to 93. And then somebody said, dude's going to hit a pothole and get in a plane accident.
Be catapulted. Oh my gosh.
Like driving on basketballs.
Oh heck.
They in a monster truck? Like what are they?
I don't know.
What are they blowing up there?
Does that not scare you though when you put air in the tire like it's going to explode in your face like that?
Right,
Keep doing that?
Yeah.
And it's like, when do you stop? When do you stop? And
Always two to three
always.
psi below the average.
I don't even know what the average is.
You look, it's on the tire.
30. Well,
35, 40, depending on the tire size.
But is that accurate though?
So you say put it below the average?
Yeah, like I always put like 2 to 3 psi below, because when you're in the wintertime, it's going to deflate, and then when the sun comes up, you're always going to get air
Yeah,
put
it's gonna
back
go
in your
back up.
tires. So
Yeah.
always fluctuates that number.
I always do it at like 32. It's kind of where I've just general rule of thumb.
32 is pretty good. Yeah, I just we always that light comes on in your car and it stays with you. The low tire warning, even if your tire's not low, it just pops up when it gets cold outside. There it is. Then you freak out and you realize all your tires are okay. But this one light, that one light's like jolting. It holds you hostage. You can't really do anything. Like you can't close schools in Davidson County because there's ice in Jolton. It's held us hostage for 50 years. Yeah. Shout out to the people in Jolton up there. What's up?
We do love Jolton. We absolutely do love Jolton.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
But we do care about Billy Jolton. That's a whole different world.
We do. He has a great Billy Joel tribute band.
Van. Watch out now. I ain't getting no van. Can you help me pull my couch? No, sir.
Mike in Lebanon wants to know any news on the Preds traveling. I think they left this afternoon. They were supposed to. Haven't heard anything differently from Willie. So I think they left as scheduled. I know Boston had like 2 feet of snow, so they were dealing with that.
Is that who they play next tomorrow night? The Bruins?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That is correct, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought we would see something. They did make the travel out of town, so hopefully they make it safe and sound up there. Tough loss to the Mammoth, right, on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough in celebrating Roman Yossi's 1,000th game, which is pretty cool. He's the first Predator to do it with the same team or with the Predators. So pretty neat. Pretty neat to see that.
Yeah, hope they and they're on the road for a little bit, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
Nice.
Good times.
Yeah, great times, pal.
So again, just kind of giving everybody a quick little update before we move to what day is it? Celebrity birthdays. NES, I know, is still working diligently, and it's a slow process, but they have over 300 people on the crews that are working. They've doubled their efforts in trying to get things going on, but last I have seen, they're now down to 163, just a little above 163,000 customers. So they are slowly whittling it away. And again, we'll keep you up to date on all of that as we go along. So if you have been without power and you have it back, let us know and let us know the area, because we'd love to pass that along.
Amen.
As well. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is in celebrity birthdays. It's Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Well done, Dr. Crane. That is such a great song by the late, great Glenn Campbell. And Jimmy Webb.
Jimmy Webb, yeah. It's a classic, right?
It is such a classic. I am told the Preds are traveling. They are in the air.
Good. That's
So.
a great line. I need you more than want you. That's a great line. That's what I say every time I drive by Chipotle.
Yeah.
I need you more than I want you. Every damn time.
With that, let's look. We've enjoyed those of you that have been able to participate with us and hang out with us today. My mom's been listening. She's the one. She said that we've really entertained her. So thank you, Mom.
That's all that matters.
Yep. But we just stay safe. Hopefully the power gets back on sooner rather than later, and we're all going to get through this together because that's what we do. So we're all dealing with it. With that, let's have some fun and waste no more time with celebrity birthdays. And what day is it?
All right. First on the list, you can create unforgettable memories with this advertisement that's on my screen. Better Business Communications Day is today. Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day.
Love bubble wrap.
Community Manager Appreciation Day. So
yeah.
Yeah. Dental Drill Appreciation Day. There's a lot of appreciating going on in this one. International Customs Day. Lotus 123 Day. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
National Green Juice Day. I don't know if I want that.
Oh, is that today? Yeah,
it's today, man.
Gross. Is that kale and all that nonsense?
Yeah. Spinach. Yep. National Peanut Brittle Day. You guys come off as peanut brittle people. You like peanut brittle?
I like peanut butter a lot.
Peanut brittle.
I know, but aren't in the same neighborhood?
You could say so. Yeah.
Well, hell, it says peanut in it, so it'd be the same thing.
It comes from like the nut family and stuff. So,
Hello, family show.
Guys, they're all edible. Let's continue. Spouse's Day is today. And then to wrap it up, it's Toad Hollow Day of Encouragement. So,
what does that mean?
I don't know. It's a picture of a hand traced on a wall.
That's what? Isn't that a chalk outline? You damn murderer!
I don't know. That's what it's showing. I really wish I could tell you more.
Please don't. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You know the game. You got to get within 2 of each side of the year. All right, our first birthday. Chase, you go first. How old is the great one, Wayne Gretzky, today?
Wayne Gretzky is 64.
63.
65. Dr. Crane, I told you what the default is, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Crane, former San Francisco All-Pro cornerback Eric Davis. Well, I think he went to UNA, won a couple Super Bowls with the Niners.
55?
I'm going to say 65.
57, tied at 1.
Oh, nice.
Chaser, how old is the great Vince Carter?
Vince Carter is 52.
51.
49.
Wow.
Dr. Crane's up 2-1. All right. Dr. Crane, how old is the great actor David Strathairn?
72.
Okay.
You said that quick. 64.
77. Do you even know who the guy is?
No, I just felt confident.
He was in The Firm. He was in the movie about illegal baseball betting. Oh, God.
No.
He was also in Sneakers. He was the deaf guy in Sneakers. All right, it's 2-1. Chaser, how old is Ellen DeGeneres?
63.
62.
68. All right, we got more. Here we go. Don't go anywhere, folks. This game is amazing. How old is Dr. Crane musician Lucinda Williams?
67.
77.
79. Tied at 2. Chaser, how old is the great actor Scott Glenn? Was in The Right Stuff, Backdraft.
64.
60.
87. Dr. Crane, how old is the drummer for UB40, Norman Hassan?
68.
62.
68 dead on, 4-2. Chaser, how old is Andrew Ridgely, part of Wham? It was George Michael and Andrew Ridgely. How old is Andrew Ridgely today?
65.
64.
63. Dr. Crane's up 5-2. Dr. Crane, how old is the funny actor Brian Callen from the Goldbergs? He plays the gym teacher.
60.
56.
59. 6-2. Chaser, how old is gospel singer Kirk Franklin?
74.
68.
56. Dr. Crane, how old is the drummer of Hoobastank, Chris Hesse?
70.
51.
52. 6-3. Chaser, how old is actor Giles Marini from Sex and the City? I know you're a big Sex and the City fan.
58.
60.
50. One more, Dr. Crane. How old is guitar player Michael Martin of Marshall Dillon? Go, Dr. Crane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look at me.
72.
70.
43, and that ends. Dick wins 6-3. Also on this day, though, Eddie Van Halen, Bob Uecker, and Paul Newman were all born on this day.
Wow. What a good day.
And the inventor of baseball, Abner Doubleday.
Oh, really? January 26th.
January 26th. Happy birthday to all those guys and up in heaven. There you go. Happy heavenly birthday.
Yeah, there you go. Again, thanks for sticking with us today. So, Joe, just give us a little bit of the lay of the land over in Donaldson.
Well, the main roads are Lebanon Road's good. Murfreesboro Road's good. The airport is good. The back road leading to the main road is okay. The back roads are awful. So, again, if you got to get out, the caution and care. But if you make it to the main road, you're good to go. I'm not sure what's open. A lot of people still without power all over Donaldson Hermitage, and just kind of we'll fight through it together, man. We do this. We come together and we pack a lot of patience and try to get it done. But the roads are okay. If you get out, I don't know what's open because you'll go to a convenience store that's open. The one next to it, it's not open. So check and see before you get out if what you got to do. But if you got to get out, I understand it because we go stir crazy sitting around. So that's the situation on the east side of town over here. And also, I'm not sure the road. I think it's still blocked on the interstate from what I saw just a few moments ago where the sign came down Armory Drive and over that way in Brentwood area.
I would say that is a
Harding Place over there.
Yeah, Harding Place. Yes. Yeah. So just be careful if you are out and about. Do you have any recommendations on things I should watch since I got nothing to do?
I told you, I think to me, Miami Vice, but in the streaming era we've been in the last 15, 20 years, Breaking Bad's number one.
Yeah.
But The Americans is simply fantastic. I'm telling you, it's about spies in DC. It's set from 81 to 87. I'm telling you, The Americans is an amazing, amazing show. There's a lot of good shows out there, but The Americans are really good.
Okay. All right. I will be sure to check that out. That is going to do it for us. And by the way, I've been meaning to bring this up a few times throughout the show because we did this yesterday. If you come to a red light and it is out, Joe, what do we do?
It is a four-way stop, my friends. Four-way stop. And I saw a member of our, I'm going to say a member of our community went blowing through a red light today, almost hit somebody else, and they should have known better.
Yeah, here we go. If no signal lights, treat it as a four-way stop. If flashing yellow, proceed with caution through the intersection. If flashing red, it is a stop sign. That's what you do. So keep that in mind. But if it's not working at all, it's a four-way stop. With that, DVD with Adam Vingan and Parker Kelly. That is coming up next here on 102.5 The Game.